What's up, everybody? Aaron D here at fantasyfootballaddict.com. Don't mind me here on a Saturday morning, mid-August, having my coffee. And I just wanted to talk a little bit since so many people are ready to draft. Um, this is the high point of our 2017 season. We're all getting ready for our drafts. And you see so much uh, you know, emphasis on PPR versus standard scoring. And everybody tells you that if you're in a PPR league, you have to find PPR rankings. If you're in a standard scoring league, you have to have standard scoring rankings. And I'm here to tell you that it's bullshit and there's no such thing. And there's only one method of fantasy analyzation that makes any sense, and that is just players that are going to be productive versus players that are not going to be productive. If you're going to catch 100 balls, the chances are you're going to score pretty darn well in standard scoring, just as much as you would in PPR scoring. David Johnson wasn't just the best running back in PPR scoring because he caught a lot of balls. He was also the best running back scoring wise in standard leagues. And the reason I think it's a bad idea to focus on PPR versus standard scoring is because I actually think not only is it not really necessary, but it's actually a bad thing. I think you're going to be misled when you try to focus on how many catches, because let's face it, nobody knows how many catches any of these guys are going to make. We like to forecast and pretend that we know how many catches a specific running back or a wide receiver are going to catch, but in the long run we have no idea at all who's going to catch what. And so let's just take a look at a couple of players from 2016, just to highlight what I'm talking about here. So heading into 2016 drafts, if you were using ESPN's PPR rankings, they had LeGarrette Blount way down there as their 38th ranked running back. Okay, well, we know that 18 touchdowns later, he finished as a top 10 running back, a top 10 PPR running back. Didn't catch many passes, but 18 touchdowns meant he was a top 10 PPR guy. But meanwhile, you if you were using their rankings, you would never have taken Blount. So I'm just saying that this is a flawed logic to think that catches is really that important. Because again, if people are catching passes, it's not just going to help them for PPR. They're going to be racking up yardage. They're going to have more opportunities. Every time you catch a ball, it's an opportunity to score a touchdown, right? And that's going to get you points in standard scoring leagues. So if Blount is a deflated PPR rank example, how about an inflated PPR ranked example? So let's look at Duke Johnson, a guy who is perpetually inflated because, they're doing it again this year. Duke Johnson's being used as a wide receiver. He's going to catch all kinds of balls. They love forecasting catches for this guy. They did it going into 2016. Oh, he's gonna catch so many balls, and so he was ranked ahead of Blount in PPR rankings last year. And you know what? Yeah, he caught 53 passes, but he only scored one touchdown the entire year. So what's the point, right? The guy only scores one touchdown. How's that going to help you? So you can't assume that player X or player Y is going to catch a ton of passes, and therefore you're inflating those players' value. Look at Dez Bryant last year, Allen Robinson, Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Keenan Allen. These guys were the PPR ranked 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th wide receivers. How many of them finished in the top 10? None of them. Top 15, none of them. Top 20, none of them. Top 25, just one. And that was Allen Robinson because he finished as the 25th best wide receiver in PPR. So that's just telling you this is not about how many balls you're going to catch. You have to be right on whether or not, Des Bryant's going to have the kind of year that he's going to have had last year. Or you have to anticipate that Keenan Allen's going to get injured and miss most of the season, or that Alshon Jeffrey is just going to have one of the most horrendous seasons of any wide receiver in a long time. So that's just sort of the focus that I'm on, and that is you're either going to be right on a player being productive from a fantasy standpoint, or you're going to be wrong about it. And how right or how wrong about it are you going to be? And so for me, in my draft spreadsheet, which again is available on fantasyfootballaddict.com, is all about identifying players of value that are going to outperform the level of where they're being drafted. So I'm constantly monitoring where people are drafting certain players, and based on where I see a value for a specific player and how I think a player is going to perform, I rank them accordingly. And that has nothing to do with PPR or standard scoring. It's about who is going to get out there, catch balls, run balls, do whatever it takes to score fantasy points in both types of leagues. And that's it for today, everybody. I just wanted to tell you, don't worry about PPR versus standard scoring. You have to figure out who you like and who you think is going to have a good year, regardless of how they get it done. Thanks, everybody. Have a good season.